Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And off we go from Seattle. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Here's Wilson to throw right away.
Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 19 yards right off the bat. And a quick first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense. And guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first-quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those?
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared. But I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
After the interception, here's Smith.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw now in his own end zone. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Well, I think we've got evidence right now that this team's not going to be daunted at all. Just because they're backed up doesn't mean they're not going to continue to throw the football. They threw an incompletion on first down, but they came right back on second down and threw it again. And this time they hit it for not just good yardage, but a first down.
Quinnen Williams, so hard to block, and he shows it that time, making the tackle for loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. From the gun, here's Smith. Finding Walker complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The Seahawks at 9-6 now. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
19. On 2nd and 10, Smith. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued. Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone. Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. They lost 4 there, and it's third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They were having great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Here's Hall again, and he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Giving 2 on the play. His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, any way to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it here with Hall.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Pardon me, you know how often we hear about the...
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Their second drive with the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Smith. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you do on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
On 2nd and 9, Smith. Deep ball for Goodwin.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Jets force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Ball again on second down.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. On the tackle that time, Shelby Harris. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Here's Wilson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to 3rd down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
On 3rd down, Wilson.
Open man is Denzel Mims.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 45-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Back to the ground with Hall.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
49 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
2nd down at 4. On 2nd down, a run with Hall.
And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And they'll bring up the 3rd and 2 more. They'll run with Hall. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24.
When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them.
Hall again.
Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. Open man here is Conklin.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
And that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Ball again on second down.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Running left, it's Hall.
And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. They didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Here's the sneak with Wilson. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Wilson on the keeper. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the keeper. It's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Now, that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only 2nd down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed them back and set up 3rd down.
And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack to stop him short of the first.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
So Wilson runs off, and now they will go to the man they call Greg the Leg, Greg Zuerlein.
From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Zuerlein's kick is up and through.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now Geno on first down. And he's got the speedster Goodwin. And he'll go down, but not before getting us inside the 30. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Smith.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Throwing again is Smith. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. The kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. A shotgun snap for Smith. Touchdown, Seahawks. Tyler Lockett. As the first half is winding down, and the Seahawks have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead into the locker room. Myers connects on the PAT, and they take the lead here at 7-6.
not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The 330-pounder Al Woods brings the boom on the sack. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch.
Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
On second down, it's Walker.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley.
And the Jets are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
That is a tough way to start the 3rd quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Here's Wilson to throw. He'll air this one out for Mims. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to let it go again. This is caught inside the 15.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. Paul want to give up the middle.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage.
Cody Barton there to bring him down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time to make sure you get in shape.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Oftentimes we play some offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, I think what we're seeing from the safeties, they're all over the field. They're not they're through it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go with it.
Paul has it knocked loose.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Ready? 19 right.
To throw is Smith. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. What a play that turns out to be. 36 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
The soft
Walker hitting the ball is out.
And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back? Well, let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, helped their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 29, Wilson eluding the press, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Uchenna Nwosu, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's the Jets punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And look at this starting field position. That'll be touchdown inside the 30-yard line. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
On 2nd and 12, Smith throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That completes it again to Metcalf.
Touchdown! DK Metcalf. His 17th touchdown now on the season.
And the Seahawks have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is up to 5. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
He'll air this one out from Mims. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
To throw on second down is Smith. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And this offense on third down today, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Smith. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field have covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down.
Left wing 19.
Throwing now is Geno. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He'll air this one out for Mims. And this is caught. Touchdown, Jets. Denzel Mims, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jets use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the 4th. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Big play coming now for the Jets as they'll set up to go for 2. Wilson going to throw for it. And no, incomplete. They can't convert. So they tried to bump the lead up to a field goal. Instead, it stays at 1 here in the 4th. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. taken in at the 3. A lane opens here. He's past the 30, the 40, the 20. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Seahawks. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Geno's going to throw. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead was by a couple more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the ball.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And they'll send the slot in motion left. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try to push it deep downfield, facing a one-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson uncorks one for Davis. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run with Hall. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. One more time with Hall. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going to play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. They tried to let the fullback pound it in between the tackles, but he stopped up short. And the Seahawks able to come up with a goal line stand. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Yeah, another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off.
And the Jets are going to take possession of the football.
That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones. Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get him to completion.
Throwing now is Wilson. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Here's Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Moore, the man in motion. Wilson to throw. And he's got it.
And the Jets are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Wilson.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They'll look to throw. This is caught. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation. Back to throw. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Taken in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the save calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Incomplete pass there is probably the best scenario going, because if he catches the football, clock's probably going to run out in that situation.
Now it's Smith. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is going to be intercepted. And he will be taken down, and that means we are headed to overtime. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
First throw in overtime now for Wilson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards there, a big one. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 93 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Hall again on 2nd down. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Ready, ready, ready.
They'll go again with Hall. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Out to the right here to Wilson. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. Wilson to Wilson there. Zach to Garrett for a Jet 1st down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Ball again. And this time he's going to lose yardage as they push him back to the 40-yard line.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. Wilson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and they have regained the lead. So they do get the short field goal here to get them the all-important overtime lead. But, Charles, you wonder if they'll wind up ruining the fact that they were able to get down into the red zone, yet not able to find the touchdown that would have won them the game.
Brandon, you're absolutely right. In overtime, when you get the ball first, the hope is your opponents never see the football. But now they're going to get a drive to try and win it, or at least keep the game alive with a field goal. And I'm getting a dictionary out to look up ruin.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? The overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
And this will be a Seahawks first down as he gets this up past the 30 to the 32.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here in OT.
Hurry!
Now Geno on first down.
Gets this to Fant.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Smith. It's caught. Lockett.
Oh, and he'll be tackled and covered up inbounds. They get another first, but they're working with no timeouts.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. From the 50, it's Smith.
That is taken in by the tight end Fant.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
It's a nice zone breaker right there. Take the tight end, move him out to the slot, then have him run a quarter route versus the zone coverage, which means he's going to be behind the shallow coverage and ahead of the deep coverage. Put the ball right on him.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
19 tight.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Smith.
And, oh, that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up.
They sort of got a new lease on life there. If he picks that off, this ball game's over.
I can hear it. My defensive backs coach in Tennessee, a lost opportunity is never regained. Used to drive him crazy when I dropped those potential interceptions as that one was there.
His first catch, and it's a big one in overtime. It's a first down. They wanted to avoid the dreaded fourth down and having to get a conversion or it being the final play. They picked it up, though, on third.
I love how you described that because we've been in those situations and seen it. If you get to fourth down, especially in overtime, things get a little shakier, don't they? The hands get shaky, right?
And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column.
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for the Seahawks,
they get an all-important 10th win to move them to 10-6 with 1 week to go.